Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. Today is October 4th, 2020. I know that because I've tried to make this video a couple times already. Yeah. You would think it'd be simple. I got 50 pounds of rice next to me. I'm sitting on some 5-gallon buckets and I got some Mylar next to me, so obviously we're putting some rice in buckets. This is prepping 101. Yeah, I'm sure you can find a million videos on how to put rice in a bucket. I'm sure you can. But I said I was going to show you this a while back. I hadn't really gotten around to it, so here we are. My trip was delayed, so I'm not leaving right away. Not really sure. I won't give a date exactly. Sometime a week or so, I'd say, is when I'm expected to go. Hopefully, maybe. For those of you that don't know, I'm heading north for work. I'm a truck driver by trade, and you know, truck driver's life is never home. So, yeah, not looking forward to being away from the family, to be honest with you. But you do what you got to do. Anyway, I'm going to put rice in a bucket, but first I want to tell you a little story. Just a little story. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail of the story, but yesterday, started yesterday. Yesterday I was having, even though after the video, you know, that video I made was really early that morning, and I had a pretty decent day. You know, it was a good day. I'll just leave it there. But I had to have something done yesterday. I'm not going to go into all that, but I had to have service provided, and the person who did the service did an exemplary job. I mean, beyond what was expected. And I felt that I needed to do something for this person because, you know, of what they had done. And I looked in my wallet and I had exactly $5 left in my wallet. And I handed it to the person and I said, here you go, this is for the great job you've done, thank you. And they said thanks and went about their business and what they were doing. And, you know, as I'm handing them the $5, thoughts run through your head. I don't know, if you're on a budget like me, thoughts run through your head. What could I do with $5 that, you know, could help me and my family? $5. I mean, there's 50 pounds of rice next to me. That's $17. So we'll get into some math here in just a minute. But what could you do with $5? And a voice popped into my head, and said, you know, the first thought is, you can't afford this. This is the first thought in my head. And a voice in my head said, oh yes you can. Long story short, I woke up this morning with a blessing of more than I had given out, and I'll just leave it right there because that's that. And you know who you are, and just again, thank you. Thank you very much. It means more than you could know. Alright, before also we get started, I would like to mention Homestead Oss. He has a hat just like mine now. I've seen it in his newest video. His is a lot cleaner than mine. Can you see how dirty this is? This thing smells like a campfire too, and because it's got the battery pack in it, in order to wash it, you have to scrub it with like a wet wipe or something like that, because if you put it in a washing machine, it could destroy the wires and such. So, yeah, I haven't bothered to clean my hat, obviously. Obviously. So somebody asked me in a comment how the Spirit leads me to prep. Things like that happened today, but, you know, for your family. That's why. It's always a family thing. People talk about the first preppers. You know, if you read the Bible, the story of preppers all over the Bible. Noah, obviously, he was a prepper. There's a couple other ones. 7 years of storage for the 7 years of famine. Look up that story if you don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, I'm going to get right into it because, yeah, I keep trying to make this video and I keep stumbling with what I'm trying to say, but, yeah. Check out Homestead Oss because I like his hat. I really do. He's got a good one. Because it looks just like this one. I actually found these hats in a store, a Lowe's hardware store, not too long ago, but they were bright yellowish, orangish, reflective material. Same exact hat, same logo, everything, but reflective material. And yeah, no. They also have the beanie hats too, in case you guys are looking up. I did a review of the hats. It was last year. I have a video of that up. Contact's bothering me, sorry. But anyway, let's stop rambling and get to the rice. Probably gonna have to reset up this camera angle and such, so just give me a minute and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I found an issue with one of my buckets. It has a hole in it. Look at that. Can you see this? This is a hole right there. It actually goes all the way through. I can see through it. So we'll save that for a different thing. This bucket's okay. I got these from my local hardware store. Not their fault. Those are holding the bucket. I'm sure the hardware store didn't know. I'm also sure that they're not the ones who made these buckets. These buckets come off of assembly line and somebody slaps a logo on there somewhere. You can go to the same assembly line and see a dozen different logos. So yeah. Anyway, rice in a bucket. These are Mylar bags. These are oxygen absorbers. I've had these for a long time. Alaska Prepper tells you about how you can see if these things are still good or not. You should be able to hear the powder in them. But when you have a flat one like this, they should be kind of soft, because these are very soft and pliable. These, because they're all stacked on top of each other, are not soft and pliable, they're hard. But I'm not going to use the small ones just because, as you see, they're all in one package, and I would have to bring the food sealer over here, use one or two of them, and then seal the rest. These, on the other hand, are individually packaged. This all came in the same package. I got it from Amazon. I don't remember when. It's been at least a year ago. Came with the Mylar and the oxygen absorbers. It was a rather good deal at the time on Amazon, so yeah. Basically, all I'm doing is shoving the Mylar in the bucket like so. Mylar in the bucket. Now there's always excess on these. It always sticks out a lot more than you need. So I usually take scissors or something, trim it down a little bit once I get the rice in there and know what I'm working with and how much I need. But yeah, back to my earlier story I was telling you. A lot of people, I see this on a lot of channels, and I've heard a lot of people say it, that, you know, I'm a good person if I'm a good person, and if I'm judged the way I should be judged, then I will get into the better place. That's not what the book says. Nope. See, the key is listening and obeying. Listening and obeying. If you listen, if you take your time to listen and obey, you will be blessed. Listening is the hard part. Now, I'm gonna change that. Listening is the easy part. Obeying is the hard part. A lot of people hear it and they think, you know, but they don't obey. I'll stop blabbing about all that. All right, back to rice in a bucket, right? This is the hard part of this, is picking up the 50 pounds of rice and dumping it in here. Now, these are 5-gallon buckets, as I said. A 5-gallon bucket usually holds around 33 pounds of rice, give or take. 33 pounds. So if I have 100 pounds, I can fill 3 buckets. And I've done it. I've emptied complete 2 bags of 100 pounds of rice into 3 buckets. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do the hard part now and get that over with. Trying not to spill rice all over the ugly carpet is probably the hardest part of this. That's loud. Alright, now we've definitely lightened up the load a little bit. Always shake it, get it down to the bottom, straighten out the Mylar, and right now, I don't know if you can see in there, there you go, we are about to here now, so it can definitely hold more, quite a bit more, so I have more to dump. So this is probably going to be loud again because I don't plan to edit this out. You can actually see the real struggle here. Obviously, this is heavy, and anybody who has issues lifting 50 pounds, definitely find somebody to do it if you have problems with it. Otherwise, you might make a mess. So like I said, the bucket holds about 33 pounds. So obviously, I wouldn't have filled the other bucket anyway. I was going to do something a little different with that. But being that it has that small hole in the bottom, I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to repair the hole I can do it with Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue will repair that hole pretty easily. And then I need a little more rice if I want to fill that up. Or you can do Mylar bags like this, and you can put smaller packages of various things inside the Mylar and reseal it. Alaska Prepper does it with, I seen one of his videos, he had pancake mix in individual packages and stuff like that in there. Individual packages are good, because if you open 50 pounds of rice, you're not going to use 50 pounds of rice all at once, I assume. So definitely keep something on hand, like, you know, part of your preps needs to be Ziploc bags, for example. So when you open 50 pounds of rice, you can scoop out what you need, and you can, you know, divide the rest into smaller packages. Just storing 50 pounds like this, well, yeah, you might go through it pretty quickly if you have as many kids as I do. So, yeah. You still are not quite at the top. Can you see that? We're almost there. So, the rice, let me lower you a little bit. There we go. The rice is about here. Just about right here. Maybe a little bit lower. So, I'm going to top it off, and then we're going to get to the part of sealing it up. Now, a lot of people will put an oxygen absorber on the bottom of the bag and then another one on top. I've done it that way. I've done it other ways. Some people will actually take food grade buckets and just dump the rice directly into the bucket, put clear, plastic wrap, clear wrap on top of it. That you know, will stick really good to this. I cannot remember the name of that stuff. And then just put the lid on top of it. It works. There are sealing lids that have rubber grommets around them, and you can get those at the food grade buckets. You can pour it in there. You put the sealing lid on there, you lock it down, you don't need to do anything else. This is actually the harder way to do it. Mylar, oxygen absorbers, and these regular buckets are definitely the harder way to do it. So, yeah, keep that in mind. There are easier ways. When you're doing it like this, you just got to eyeball it. And that's going to be about it for this bucket. As you can see, that's a lot of rice, isn't it? Now, we're going to seal it. There's a couple different ways we can do this. I'm going to use this. So, yeah. Move that out of the way. Lift up the covering of the ugly wall. Plug this in. This is going to get hot, so we don't want to burn anything. Let's set it somewhere that's not going to burn. I don't have anywhere to set it. Alright, set it like this, maybe on the, okay, you can't even see it anyway. Good thing, because, yeah, safety first, right? Okay, like I said, I will cut this. I really need to move this so you can see. I'm going to cut this about to here. Take off, I don't know, about 2.5 to 3 inches. I usually have a pair of scissors for this. I forgot them, but Leatherman saves the day yet again. These are scissors, in case you can't see it. Little scissors on my Leatherman multi-tool. You always want to leave a little bit at the top, because, you know, leave it hanging out a little bit, because you're going to need to seal it. And if you leave just a little excess in case you do mess up, you can always trim off something that you messed up, like in the sealing process. And yeah, that will make it so you're not breaking anything here. Okay, my scissors are just sliding right through it like a razor. And here I thought they weren't sharp. Clearly, I just did half of it there. I'm going to come around. I can smell that iron thing over there getting hot. I got to check it to make sure it's not burning what I got it set on. I have it set on one of the plastic lids. Can you see it? It's set on the plastic lid there. So I hope I left enough excess. I actually should have left a little bit more, but it'll be fine. It'll still work. I probably could have fit just a little more rice in that bucket too, as you see. Yeah, when I'm eyeballing it, it'll be fine. There's 30 pounds or so of rice in there. Now what this is, what is this? I think my wife says a hair straightener. I don't understand why she needs it, because her hair's like really long, So are all my kids, I can't show you, it's long and very straight. Why would she need this? I don't know. But here's what we're doing. We're sealing the Mylar. Heat seals Mylar. So you put that hair straightener thingy on there. It's just like a flat iron, really. And yeah, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it? It's sealed. Right there, sealed. So I know it's not the best view. I should have brought the gimbal in for this. And I'm doing it kind of at an angle like this, because obviously this isn't long enough to go all the way across. And yeah, I could have left a little more of the Mylar. Would have been easier. But that's okay. Measure once, or wait, measure twice, cut once, right? I should have measured twice. This really doesn't take very long. I mean, this really doesn't. The problem I'm having here is this little area. It's just a little off a little bit. Obviously my cut wasn't straight either. Now, in other times that I've done this, I have, don't catch the carpet on fire, I have left just a little hole right here, and I've put the vacuum cleaner in there, and I've sucked out all the air. I almost forgot to put this in. Like I said, I left the vacuum cleaner in, or I stuck the vacuum cleaner hose in there, and I sucked out all the air. It's not really necessary. Oxygen absorber. You can hear the powder. It's very pliable. That means it's going to do its job. And I'm only going to put the one in there. I think it's 1,000 cc. I know these little ones say they're 500. I don't know. I really don't. Hopefully I got that number right, because I don't know. And I'm just going to come back from the other end and seal it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be closed. And so you'll push it down as much as you can while you're sealing to take out any extra air from the top. I don't really find a need to put the oxygen absorber on the bottom, because if you know about air displacement, when you're pouring all that rice in, it's forcing the air out of it anyway. So, I mean, there may be a little bit between the rice grains, obviously. Air is air. You're never going to get it all out of the bucket. You're never going to, no matter what you do. Now what you really want, after you think you've got it sealed, push down on it. I hope you can see that. When you push down on it, there's a little air pocket right here. That's hot. And you want to make sure that air pocket doesn't come out when you're pushing down. Squeeze it, push it. As long as the air pocket's not coming out, then you know that it's sealed. It's airtight. Oxygen absorbers in there. The other ones are still sealed. And that's it. Let me unplug this. Make sure that's not catching the floor on fire. And that's really it. Rice in a bucket right there. I mean, that's as simple as it is. You put your lid on there. This is to keep the critters out. Mice and things will chew through your Mylar and get your rice. But if you have a good bucket with a good lid, and this is just a standard lid for a bucket. There you go. That's how you seal your lid right there. You sit on it, talk to the video. I had a thing. Oh, there it is. Here we go. This is a Sharpie. Sharpie. Can you see it? Sharpie? Sharpie. And what I said today was October 4th, right? So I will write rice 10/4/20. There it is, rice 10/4/20. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you put rice in a bucket. Very self-explanatory, isn't it? It's really a simple thing to do. I don't want to sit on the Sharpie, so I'm going to sit on the other bucket and talk to you. So, does the spirit guide me to prep? Yes. Yes, if that's what you want to call it, the spirit. Call it whatever you want. Call him whatever you want. Yeah. Why? So my family doesn't have to go through hardship. Especially when I'm not here. If I'm 1,000 miles away, hundreds of miles away, whatever the case may be, which has been frequent over the last 6 years, I want to make sure that they have what they need, no matter what. If I can't make it back, and if I'm 1,000 miles away, especially if I'm up in New England, you know, you got to consider there's 1,000 miles and a lot of stuff between me. The most densely populated areas of North America are in the northeastern parts of United States and the southeastern parts of Canada. Obviously the Great Lakes, large bodies of fresh water. That's why there's so many people in that area. Fresh water. People need water to live. So yeah, if I had to walk back or even drive back or try to get back from that area all the way back to here to where my family are, I have to go through the most densely populated areas of the country. For that purpose, I'm also, you know, I showed you I have a little polymer 80 box. Me and my cousin were trying to mill it out yesterday. I'm trying to find a way to complete it before I leave, because if I complete it, I can shove it in my backpack. It's not the most legal thing in several of the places I'm going to. I'm not going to say any more about it. Alright, so that has been Rice. Yeah, definitely guided to prep, because what happens? What if? The what if? What if something happens, something drastic, even a natural disaster? Earthquake, volcano, hurricane, whatever. What if it happens and I'm not here? What if I can't make it back? They should definitely have what they need. And I feel better knowing they have it. Makes me feel better. Like some people feel better when they have that little piece of paper that says insurance at the top and it says if something happens, we'll do this. People feel better, you know, having that. That does not make me feel better. A bucket of rice does. So obviously, one bucket. I still have leftover rice, about 20 pounds of it. I'm going to divide it in Ziploc bags, take some of it camping. But hey, check out Homestead Oz if you haven't done so. Great channel, really is. I like his hat. I like his new hat too. So much cleaner than mine. Look how dirty that thing is. I gotta clean a hat. Anyway, he says he's going to give me a hat. He really is. He wants to send me a hat. I'm really curious. I got to measure my head size. I don't, you know, this hat is like one of those Velcro adjustable ones. Last time I had a fitted hat, it said small to medium, so it didn't have an actual number. My wife is going to measure my head with one of those little tape things. A little bit later today, she had things to do, and yeah, we'll meet up a little bit later, and she's going to measure my head, so I don't know. Alright, this has been Prepping 101 Grim Survival. I am James. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Either way, it helps the channel. I don't mind either way. So, yeah, that's all I got for you today. This video is probably a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but that's okay. Rice in a bucket. Good information to have. Thank you for watching. See you next time.